Hello everyone, so welcome to the recap video for the FIFA World Cup 2026 tournament that we concluded recently. So if you remember, this tournament took place on the same save game file of the last two network games that we've done. So this is on the same save, and you'll see there that 9 of us took part, and they are the teams that we were all assigned. Now what I did, I originally picked out the 9 strongest teams that I believe are the strongest in world football on both prestige, on what they've won, and yeah, what in real life, it's common sense. We all know who the sort of strongest nations are. Now you'll see there that Rodney T has got Switzerland. Now, you wouldn't consider them one of the strongest nations in the world. You'd certainly say they're a mid-roader, a team that could win a tournament, but then again might not, probably won't. They're sort of that mid-range team. Now, the reason Rodney got them, he got them at the expense of Germany. So imagine Rodney was Germany, then that would be the 9 strongest teams in the tournament and in world football. Now the reason he got Switzerland is he specifically requested that for the draw he gets a chance at managing any of the teams in the competition. He was quite happy to manage anybody, whether that's Qatar, Suriname, I think that's how you pronounce them, or anyone that's pretty rubbish basically. He just wanted to go in with blind luck and see who we get, and in the end he got Switzerland, which was a good one for him because, as I said before, they're a mid-roader team. They could have a chance of winning it, but then again you wouldn't fancy them amongst the favourites. So yeah, Germany were the team that were managed by the AI. The other 8 were the next strongest, the other 8 strongest for me. So yeah, this is was a really good tournament. Everyone took part. Little bit of holidaying, which I'll explain in a minute. But other than that, it was brilliant. So let's jump to the tournament. So we had a very interesting Group A, because you had 2 human players pitted in that group, and as you can see, the previous holders, Argentina, found themselves out in third. Now if you look at that group, you'll think, what the heck? How has this happened? Like, how have Argentina gone out? You know, they've got the same goals scored as England, the same goals against as England, and they drew 2-2 with England. So how does that get decided? Well, there is rulings in place. You've got to think this tournament, even though it's 2026, will have the hard code of the 2002 tournament, and there are rulings in place that how things happen. So it will obviously go points, then goals scored, head to head, stuff like that. Now I haven't looked at it properly, but the only reason I think that's happened is because FIFA drew lots. They drew lots, which is what they used to do in the old days as well, to settle things like this. I might be wrong. I mean, if you want to go and have a look at the rulings, then have a look yourself and see why this has happened. But I can only think that it was done just randomly, as if like FIFA in the game drew lots and it was decided England were going to go ahead of Argentina, which is gutting for the team that misses out, of course, but then great for the team that goes through. So yeah, Argentina crashed out quite shockingly, because they are the former champions. Tight group, that one. Denmark making it through with 3 wins. So let's just have a look at that Argentina-England game. Very interesting one. That was how Edgar lined up, and this is how Adnan lined up, and he found himself with a sending off there, so he was quite lucky to come away with a 2-2 Adnan, but a tight game in terms of stats. Yeah, you had Cameroon, Denmark there, England, Cameroon 3-0. Oh, sorry, up in there. Denmark, Argentina. They beat Argentina. That was the downfall of Argentina, really. Then they beat Cameroon 3-0 to give themselves a chance of going through. England lose to Denmark, but that latish goal from Ethan Wheatley was massive, very massive, to give England a shot at getting through. So yeah, that was Group A, and yeah, one of the big boys out. Group B, my group, Italy. So I was Italy, and I went through in first. Just drew the one game with Ecuador, beat Scotland in a thriller 3-2, and then beat the USA. So yes, I was happy to get through there without losing. So that was Ecuador, USA. This was the thriller with Scotland. This guy's a beast. He was really good for Rodney last season at Arsenal. Gem of a signing, and as you can see, he scored 11 in 9 caps there. Great goal scoring ratio, and just 18 as well. This guy was brilliant for me, but bagged a hat trick there. This was the tactic I was playing, something different. I went with a different sort of system, kind of like, well, this is what I based it on really. I looked at what Italy are playing at the minute in real life, and apparently, if I'm not mistaken, that is a sort of formation they're playing. I went with it and fared me well in the group stages, as you can see. Although the Ecuador game 0-0, we did dominate by the looks of things, but yeah, didn't get the win, so it took it to the last game. And then I beat USA there, scoring a late winner again. Kamada, beast of a player. And Ecuador beating Scotland to seal their place through with me. So yeah, I go through with Ecuador. Group C is the AI computer group. Iran, look at that. Iran scoring 10 goals and going through in top. You wouldn't expect that, would you? Yeah, quite a shock there. And they lost the first game as well, Iran. Lost the first game to Colombia. So yeah, that was a bit of a shock, that one. Look at that for a game. 5-4. Whew. What a thriller, that one. Yeah, Iran just scoring goals. What tactic are they playing? They're playing an attacking tactic. Smashing the goals in. 4 against Mexico, 5 against Sweden, and then just the 1 against Colombia. But yeah, absolutely crazy that. So yeah, Iran and Sweden go through. Group D, AI controlled Germany, steamrolled their group there with 9 points. Top the group, Turkey taking second. Quite a lot of 3-0s in this group, as you can see. The Germans making their way through. So yeah, Germany and Turkey. 2 other human control players, and they had an easy group, let's be honest. Qatar and, I can't pronounce his team, is it Suriname Nation, I should say, Suriname, I can't pronounce it. Anyway, easy group for them too, wasn't it? They were always going through in this group. So let's have a look. Qatar beat Suriname, I'm just going to call them Suriname, in the Minnows game. Then you had Brazil 2-0 there against Netherlands, 2 sending offs. Then Netherlands beat Suriname. Brazil beat Qatar 5-0. Brazil beat Suriname 3-0. Netherlands beat Qatar 5-0. Just want to go back a minute. Bear with me. I will come back in a second. So I showed you what tactic I was playing. Okay. Can't remember if I showed you what tactics. They were obviously tweaked a little bit, but yeah, they were their tactics. My tactic was obviously that one that I showed you. And then what was it? It was E, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so it's interesting this because Jesper wasn't here for the first 2 games, so he told us that he would arrive later, so he was put on holiday and he missed the first 2 games, and he'd set no tactic, no team selection. All he'd done is called his players up who he wanted in the team, in the squad, so they'd been called up, ready to go. But he wasn't in control of them first 2 games, so he wasn't in control for the all-human game with Wayne. So this is what the computer played, just a flat basic 4-4-2 with them settings. Wayne's played that, just so you know. So yeah, flat 4-4-2. He then missed this game as well against Qatar. Again, they've played a different formation there. Yep, so they've played that. Okay, and then he was present for the last game against... Hang on, have I looked at the wrong thing? No, I haven't, sorry. He was present for that game against Suriname. So, hang on a minute. I need to look back at my notes here, because it looks like his tactic was used for the second game. So let me have a quick look at my notes here. I do make notes just so I can look back on the thingy. So yeah, Jesper was on holiday for the Netherlands game, and then he was on holiday for the Qatar game. But they look like they were his tactics. So I don't know if he just popped on. Maybe he did play that one. I don't know. Yeah, a bit of a grey area on that one. I don't know if he's played that one or he's just set his tactic. He's just quickly come on, quickly set his tactic, then come off again quickly until he was ready. I'm not sure. I know he definitely wasn't present for that one. You can see that because it was a 4-4-2. I don't think he would have played a 4-4-2. This one, I'm not sure if he was present for it or he holidayed. But as I say, his tactic looked like it was the one that he used for the last game. So maybe he was present for that. Anyway, it's irrelevant. He tops the group and Wayne comes second, as you'd expect. Just can't remember if I've rolled through these again. I'll do it quickly. God, my memory. Shocking. So yeah, the 2 favourites go through of that group. Group F. Look at that. Now, Alex, if you remember, he's won our last 2 league games. Sorry, when I say league games, last 2 network league games. He's won our last 2. But every international competition he's took part in all of them. He's took part in the 2002 World Cup. He took part in Euro 2004, and now he's took part in this World Cup 2026. And every time he's crashed out of the group stages. So it just goes to show he's a manager who is very good over a course of a season, but in a knockout tournament he's not getting the luck. He's got a curse over him, and he's fell by the wayside there with a very talented Spanish team, current Euro winners, and then he's gone out in 3rd place, albeit very tight. He's gone out on goal difference, by the looks of it, but it was tight. But yeah, wow. And Uruguay as well. I mean, Uruguay are no mugs. They go out drawing 3 games. So yeah, that is a bit of a shock there that they've gone out of Spain. But then again, Alex's luck, as I say, in these international tournaments are difficult. So that was his his luck's not good at all. They were his tactics. So he got a draw to keep him in it against Uruguay. He was trailing the game. He come back with a 58-minute equaliser from Llorente to give him a sniff going into the last game. And he was winning, then he was drawing, and then he scores a late winner, but it's not enough to get him through. How's your luck, eh? Yeah, gutting for Alex there, that he's gone out again. But yeah, Ukraine and Morocco take their place in the knockouts. Look at this for a shock as well. Stuart Danton's France, bottom of the group. Now, Stuart was a bit unlucky here, if I'm deadly honest. He was present for this game, the Belgium game. That was his tactic, playing something different there. So what happened was, I believe, he got booted. The game kicked him out for some reason. Anyway, time he come back in, the game continued past his second game. So he wasn't managing this game against Japan. So it booted him, if I remember correctly. He tried to get back in, but time he got back in, the game just continued past his result. So it was a gutter for him, really. I mean, would it have changed the course of the result? We don't know. But if he was perhaps there at the PC or laptop or wherever it is, controlling it, making the subs that he need be or what have you, tactical tweaks, this may have been a different result for him. So I know he was a bit annoyed, and I can understand why. But it was just something that the computer did. It just completely continued past. It was nobody's fault, and unfortunately for Stuart, he weren't in control of that game. It was his tactics and team, I believe, but yeah, he's not made them subs or things like that. So he drew 2-2, and it gave him still a little bit of a glimmer to get through, but it made things harder for him, no doubt, because you can see he played Ivory Coast there and ended up getting spanked 3-1 with some early goals going on. And that was it. That was all she wrote for Stuart's France. So I know he was gutted with that. Annoying, definitely annoying, and I can feel his frustration. But yeah, Stuart, I believe, I can't remember, my memory's shocking. I believe he won one of our previous competitions. Might have been the last World Cup, actually, with Portugal. I'll have to check the records. But yeah, he's out. He gets knocked out here, and that's gutting for him. And then the last group, we've got two other human players going through, first and second respectively. So you got Johnny's Portugal, Rodney Switzerland, topping the group. Fairly straightforward there for them. They played each other in the first game. Rodney playing that sort of tactic, Johnny with that one, and they kick the group off with a 1-1 draw, late goal from Portugal. Switzerland then smashed Nigeria, albeit a bit of help from their keeper being sent off. Portugal scrape a 2-1 against South Korea, tough game that one. And then Portugal spanked Nigeria the same as Switzerland did. They get another sending off early. And Switzerland beat South Korea. So straightforward for them. So yeah, that completed the groups. Yeah. So I'm just looking back at my notes actually here. Stuart went for a smoke, I think, because the update was... it's a bit annoying because you have to go through the June update. And I believe that was going on. Stuart went for a smoke because it takes a little bit of time. Come back, and yeah, the game had just continued through. So yeah, that was what happened there. Let's have a look at, just going back, yeah, Argentina, Spain and France all going out. That's 3 massive scalps there. Crazy stuff. Champ manager, eh? You just love it. So yeah, let's go to the round of 16. Here we go. This is where it all gets interesting. So 2 AI controlled teams. Denmark having an absolutely brilliant group stage with 2 monsters in England and Argentina. Then get Isaacson sent off early and go out to Ecuador 2-0. Crazy how football works. Didn't play very well by the stats. Get knocked out to Ecuador. Germany continuing their good runs. Smashing Sweden there with, I mean, look at that, 26 free kicks and 30 free kicks. Wow. What the hell were they doing? Were they hacking each other to bits? I've not seen that many free kicks in a game before. That is insane. Wow. Just took my eye as I turned to it. It's a lot of free kicks. Anyway, Germany dominated that by the looks of things. Well, it was quite close. I wouldn't say majorly dominated it. They won it in extra... Well, no. Yeah, look. That says it all. They won it in extra time. So it was close. The Germans go through, as they often do in the big tourneys. Brazil. Jesper. Available for the knockouts now. Tough game with Morocco. Very, very tight by the stats. Wins it in the 119th minute in extra time. Crazy. Not long from penalty kicks, and Gabriel Jesus steps up. Boom, wins the game for them. And Jesper gets through. Johnny against AI controlled Japan. Pretty straightforward 2-0 victory there for him. Gutting for me. My Italy gets spanked by Adnan's England. It was routine. I mean, I had my chances by the looks of the stats. But yeah, gutted, because I thought after that group stage, I thought, hello, I might be onto something here. And it's a bit gutting because you win the group and you end up getting England. You know what I mean? I much rather would have had AI controlled Denmark, but that's the way things go. And I end up getting second placed England and then getting me bum-handed to me with a Harry Kane hat-trick there. And fair play to Adnan. He's now knocked me out of I think, was it all 3 tournaments? I'm not sure. I know he knocked me out with Poland. I was Brazil and he beat me with Poland. That was in the World Cup. That was a gutter. Because I was overwhelming favourites and ended up getting beaten. Not sure about the Euros. I can't remember what happened to me there. Can't even remember who I was. And then he's knocked me out here in the same stage he knocked me out in the 2002 one. So yeah, that is a bit of a gutter. Adnan's a bit of a thorn in my side. Iran, who had a really good tournament, really, considering they smashed their group, go out to Turkey in the knockouts. They were battered there, weren't they? Shots on goal and things. Then Wayne's Netherlands spank Ukraine 4-1. Give them a hiding. And then look at that. Tough game, that Ivory Coast, who had a really good group stage, in a thriller with Rodney Switzerland. And Switzerland got a habit of getting to quarterfinals. Wonder how far they go in this tournament. We'll have a look in a minute, but they do tend to get to many quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, tough game there. They were 2-0 down, come back and won 3-2. Rodney takes his place. So that left us with what? 1, 2, 3, 5 human players out of the 9. So Argentina, Spain, France, and now Italy all out. Brazil, Portugal, England, Holland, Netherlands I should say, and Switzerland still in their competition at the quarterfinal stage. So yeah, getting excited now. Quarterfinal stage. Let's have a look. Wow, so here we go. Germany still steamrolling through the competition. Beat Ecuador 4-1, and the Germans looking very, very strong there to take their place in the semis. Then you've got a Brazil-Portugal game. Portugal, who years ago obviously colonised Brazil, if I'm not mistaken, Forgive me if I'm wrong there, but I'm pretty sure they did. They give them their language and things. So that was pretty much a derby in terms of international football. And Brazil, Jesper's Brazil, find a way in a very tight game. Look at that, as tight as anything. And it was an own goal, a Ruben Dias own goal in extra time that puts Portugal out. Now, I don't know, is the golden goal in effect here? No, it's not. So yeah, that wasn't the golden goal, but what a way to go out, an own goal. It'd be sick, Ruben Dias there. So Johnny's tournament gets ended there in pretty gutting fashion, let's be honest. And Jesper takes his place through. Look at that, England-Turkey, wow. Turkey, they do a job on England, and it's that famous quarter-final stage for England, isn't it? I know recently we've ended that hoodoo by getting to semi-finals and finals, but generally before that it was always we were a quarter-final team. And yeah, look at that. Great game, great game, but Turkey knock out England to take their place in the semis. And then, as mentioned before, Switzerland out in the quarters, which tends to be what happens to them in a lot of tournaments, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure Switzerland have been to many quarters and gone out. And Wayne's Netherlands beat Rodney's Switzerland to take their place in the semis there. So Portugal fall and Rodney's Switzerland fall and Adnan's England fall. So it leaves us with just two human players left in the tournament, with Jesper with Brazil and Wayne with the Netherlands. Here we go, semi-final stage, getting close now. Look at that, wow. Jesper's Brazil in a monster of a game against Germany. Wins 1-0, and he had a sending off as well. Jesper, they say that he is the man. They say that this man is a tactical genius on this game. He always finds a way. That's what Rodney and Johnny were saying, who play with him a lot. They say he always seems to find a way when there is no way. And he's done it again here to grind his way into the final. And he's done just that, beating a strong German team. And Jesper takes his place in the final, despite a red card. And then Wayne falls to Turkey. You would have to make him favourites in that game. You would have made him favourites against the Turks, but he's lost. And Turkey keeper had a barnstormer by the looks of things, and a sending off wouldn't have helped him, certainly conceding a penalty. And Wayne will be gutted to have crashed out there to an AI controlled team in circumstances like that. So close yet so far, but AI controlled Turkey take their place in the final v Brazil. So the third and fourth, well, Wayne, yeah, beaten 4-1 there. I don't know, let's have a look. So Wayne, that was his tactic. So yeah, he must have been present for it still. Even still if he holidayed and just thought, sod it. And then it was his tactics and team selection. But yeah, he got spanked there by Germany. Let's be honest, it's a nothing game, the third and fourth. It's just solely for stats and records. But yeah, got a 4-1 beat in there. And takes fourth place. It was a one-sided affair. Germany take third. And yeah, well, the old drum roll. Here we go, the final. Who's done it? Will it be Jesper with Brazil, or will it be the AI computer controlled Turkey, the underdogs? Interesting. Here we go. He's done it. Jesper, the man, wins the tournament with Brazil and gives them their 6th star on their shirt. Brazil's 6th World Cup victory. beats Turkey in a slender 1-0 victory, dominated judging by the stats, scores late on in the 76th minute and brings absolute joy to the nation of Brazil by winning 1-0 against Turkey in the final. Job done. Jesper is world champion. He wins the £25 which has been sent to him. He's been sent the £25 English winnings. Don't know what that will equate to in his Denmark Danish currency, but yeah, 25 English pounds, and well done to Jesper. So Brazil first, Turkey second, Germany third, and Wayne's Netherlands fourth. What a tournament. So before we close, let's have a look at everything. So the history, as you can see, Brazil 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times winners Brazil. They get their name in lights again. Brilliant stuff. Let's have a look. Player stats. So average rating. This Turkish guy from Brighton. Top goal scorer, Gabriel Jesus. My guy came close. He was only one behind. Gabriel Jesus and Kane and Yildiz of Turkey, I should say, look like they share it. The golden boot with 6 goals. Qatar and Bosnia concede the most. Gruder from Germany with the most assists. Jesus and Kane and Yildiz. There's a lot with man of the matches there. Pass completion. Danish centre back. Tackles, Rodri. Dribbles, Rodriguez. Shots on target, Pepe. There we go. Team stats. Okay. Nothing made official, but we know who got the golden boot. It was shared, and the dream team not done as well because we haven't gone forward that far in the game. It won't matter too much, but there you have it. That is the FIFA World Cup 2026 tournament that we did, and hopefully many more to come. See you again.